Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, beautiful people. How's it going? I got up and oh, I can't take that off. That's my sponsor. Can't do that. No, I was just wondering if that qualified as my first senior moment of the day. But no, that's just an honest little mistaken click. That's all it was. So I just want to say, yes, I had to get up, baby. I had to get up and get her shaved up this morning because I was not having the super mom talk about me because she's one of those moms. Come here. Try. Ooh. I wonder how many times she has licked a thumb and went after one of them eyebrows to try. Woo! Or this one, another one that black mothers are notorious for is when they put it used to be cocoa butter when I was little. They put cocoa butter in the hand, and then that's what they do. They try to rub your whole face off. Woo! We're going to talk about all of those traditions as we approach Mother's Day 2020, a Mother's Day unlike any we've ever had in history. And so who better to have here than America's Supermom? Fit as my mom from God rest her soul. Oh, Lucille, I'm going up there to put something on her grave this weekend. Both moms, and she would say, "Ooh, she sure got a message cheering." I had to ring the bell of purpose, and I'm. Let me quit being silly. I was building the audience. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday to you, TGIF. You found your way, thank goodness, to spend the morning with us, or at least a portion thereof, right here on Bathrobe Moments, your Friday edition. We are streaming live, LIVE. Feel the love. That's right. We're streaming live through Facebook, YouTube, Roku, Android, Apple TV. Amazon Fire Stick, and of course, our home base out in Phoenix, Arizona. That's E360 Live. And I want to say, top of the morning, and tip my hat to my sponsor for this week, and it is symposium.us, where you can turn your conversation, guess what, into currency. That's right. Now more than ever, we're looking for additional streams of income to make sure all of our eggs are not in one basket. Tomorrow is so tenuous in this current climate. It's a smart person who starts realizing I better spread it out. Get over, download the app at Google Play or the App Store. Check out the opportunities where you can turn your cell phone into a payphone. It's true. I've done it over 20 some times and have always made a good amount of coins doing it. So get over and check out the opportunities. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them, or you can set up an appointment right there for free with Troy Roots, one of the I always said his name wrong. I always do because I picture it when I see it instead of just saying it because it's ROQUE, but it sounds like rock, but it looks like some kind of roquet. So anyway, it's Troy Rocks. He's one of the co-founders of Symposium, and he'd be happy to speak with you if you're interested. There it is, symposium.us. Thank you for supporting and sponsoring Bathrobe Moments. So anyway, before I bring her in, let me take this off. I'm going to show you a little clip of who we've got here today. Now's the time. Oh, excuse me. This is the Bell of Purpose. It's new to season 4. And what is it? Why is it here? Oh, over here. It is it is here. When I ring that bell, it means that our guest today, America's Supermom, also known as Lachelle Atkins, has said something that we can go, girl, honey, you know what? I'm picking up what you're dropping off. I love what you're doing. So this is your chance to show some love. It's also your opportunity when the bell rings, something good's going on. Why not share it? Share it out. Invite some friends. Start a watch party. It's not going to kill you. And the best part of all, it's free. The Bell of Purpose. Okay? Quit playing. So anyway, Lachelle Atkins, I want to show you a little clip of something she dropped the other day, or got to be recently because it's about the pandemic. So here we go. Take a look at this. Okay.
Hey everybody, it's America's Supermom, and in lieu of this pandemic, I wanted to tackle fear. I want to give you an antidote to it. It's an acronym. So the first thing is we need to focus on the positive. Okay, we need to educate ourselves about what's really going on. Go to the source. Don't get sidetracked with all that's going on in the media. Once you educate yourself, take action. What are some strategies that you can do daily that you can implement in your daily routine? Do you need to have better hygiene? Do you need to carry wipes or hand sanitizer with you? Do you need to wipe down doors and things on your own as you go out in the community? Then it will lead to results. You will be able to eliminate fear because you'll be taking proactive steps in order to live a more successful life. And share these strategies with others. So not only will it eliminate your fear, but theirs as well.
Okay. Uh-huh. There it is, America's Supermom. I heard I saw the big, it looked like a bus. I think it's the biggest what do you call those soccer mom vans ever created, because she pulled up in it this morning. How many seats were on that thing? It looked like a dang tour bus.
You are hilarious, Loren.
How many car seats have you had at one time?
Probably about 4 or 5.
Car
Yeah.
seats.
Yeah, car seats. Yeah. Because you're supposed to have a bunch, but we just got to be real about it. We would run out of room, certain vehicles. We just didn't have space to have the little, the ones that are designed for it to be where they just sit on top of it and still strap their regular seatbelt. So, yeah, legally, probably 4 at a time.
Legally. And then there's those 4 that you stick down on the floor. Look, Cindy Joy, get down on, your seat down there on the floor. Get down there on the floor, right? Oh my goodness. Well, they tried to throw me in the trunk a couple times, and there wasn't even a car seat law back then. So
that's when they had station wagons, right?
Yeah, or the cars were just so doggone big. I remember when I was little, the back car window was so big, I would get up in that window when we went on vacations and live in there. I could play back up in there, sleep in there, make faces at all the cars behind us.
Right.
I did. And get the truck drivers to honk their horns. Remember doing that?
Yeah, doing the little,
Kids probably don't even do that now.
Definitely not. I mean, are they outside like they used to be? No.
Right. I have a couple questions I want to ask you, because you have kids, so you would know. Do you remember these traditions when we were in like elementary and grade school, middle school, all those? Because they call them all different names now. Okay. This one. Remember the thing, I could never make them, but girls knew how to make them. I played them. I had my own. And the boys used to get at me. Why you got one of those? Only the girls had a... Just kidding. But anyway, those things made out of paper, and you go like this.
Oh yeah, like one, you got to
have numbers. You open it up. Only girls knew how to make them.
You're right.
But they were fun. Do your kids? Have you seen one of those in the last?
No.
See what I mean?
Yeah, there's one. Don't have that.
Okay, what about this one? Do you remember? Okay, so you have the yarn when you go through the phase. And they're doing Jacob's ladder and all that.
And you make like the little stair steps or something, or
and
all the way down.
You do it with somebody, and you put.
They not doing that either.
See, all the good stuff. Okay, there's another one. Okay, do you remember this? Do you remember when these are some things that came and went? Click clacks. Click 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 click. Remember?
I remember that.
They went like this. They were balls made out of like hard plastic that went back.
Okay. Yeah. They do play with those sometimes.
Okay.
They still have them for sale, but they don't they're not as I don't know if it's
popular,
made right or something, but they fall apart a lot.
Yeah, they probably put out a few eyes why they don't have those no more. But what about the paddle with the red ball on it?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they
still do that? Okay. 2 more. What about yo-yos? Remember when you go through the yo-yo phase?
Yo-yos.
Is that still a phase?
I still see that every once in a while. Those are like little party gifts that kids get,
Okay, because it was a phase. All of a sudden, everyone at school would have them.
I never could do a yo-yo, which is crazy.
I couldn't do all kids. I couldn't do a whole bunch of other. I couldn't make it walk the dog and all that kind of stuff. But I could get it,
That might be a guy thing, because y'all are better with y'all.
I think it was y'all were more into jacks when we were doing yo-yos. Y'all
jacks, were playing jacks. They don't even have that. I mean,
jacks
they probably have them, but I don't think they play them.
That's crazy.
I tried to, jacks. I used to love jacks.
I know, I did too. When you get up to 60s.
Oh yeah,
I'm on my onesies, twosies, threesies. Right. Everything had an easy by it. 4s and 5s. Anyway, last one. Do you remember when you went to school and everybody had cinnamon toothpicks?
Didn't have that.
You didn't have that?
Mm-mm.
Somebody out there had cinnamon toothpick. Couldn't have just been. Okay, do you remember this? Do you remember the rumors? Do you remember the rumor about Rod Stewart?
About him, yeah, I remember the rumor about Rod Stewart.
That almost came out. You almost said it.
That was pretty, you know, the time that we lived in, that was the big secret, okay?
And we were so glad to be trying to talk nasty. You know,
Mm-hmm.
ooh, did you hear? Right. So anyway, I do remember that I lost $5 to a kid named Ralph Murphy, who was a 6th grader when I was in 3rd grade, because we were walking home as a group, and he said something about his aunt was having a baby, and he made some reference to the front, and I was like, don't you know babies don't come out of there? They come out of the back, out of the butt. And he bet me $5, and then he went home and he cut the page out of the encyclopedia.
Oh.
And he came and knocked on our door during dinner time and demanded to see me. And my mom was like, he's eating. Who are you? And what do you want? What are you doing here? And he goes, he owes me $5. And she goes, well, first of all, he's not allowed to bet. And now I know I'm getting beat up the next day. And then he held up the thing, and she brought him in and had us both sit down. And anyway, America's Supermom. I don't know why. Well, I mean, there's the reason I brought up all this stuff. It is Mother's Day 2020, Mother's Day unlike any we've ever had. It could be the beginning of a new norm. So we're going to talk about some of those things and how you feel it's going to be different in your world. But before we get started on that, say hello to everybody. Tell them where you're at, a little bit about your story, and then I have a trivia game for us.
Awesome. Well, I am so glad to be here, Loren. I just love collaborating with you. You are just hilarious. So I want to put a plug out there for everybody to watch or listen to our podcast that I released this morning. So it is just full of some golden nuggets. Even though you have a sense of humor, you really have a way of sliding that truth and those, things. You know how it is when you were a kid. There's certain things that are good for you. You really don't want to deal with it, but you have a way of putting that in a way that we package it, that we can accept it. So I'm really excited.
Thank you.
About me is my husband and I have 15 children, as you have been promoting for the show.
Yes.
And we had 13 together, and I have 2 stepchildren. And right now we have 10 of them that are sheltered in place with us. And we have 8 of them that are doing e-learning, on top of me doing coaching and speaking events, podcasting, videos that I create, as well as being a first lady. My husband is a pastor of a church, and he recently moved back because from December through the end of April, he was working out of state.
Really? So, let me stop you. Where is your microphone located? Because it keeps kind of going in and out.
Okay. You know, I have on these noise reducing.
That's what and they keep reducing it. Tell them to stay in their lane and mind their own business. We didn't ask them to reduce nothing. I'm like,
yeah. So what about now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can have those because they keep shutting me down.
Okay.
They would.
Well, you know, this is a good thing, that nice little Mother's Day gift. Let me just put that out there.
What those earbuds are?
No, I'm telling you, that could be a nice gift you can get me, since you don't like this.
Look, there will be no shortage of gifts in that house. Parade of cheering. They line up. It'll be like an altar call. That's probably what y'all do. Does your husband practice his sermons on the family? There's definitely enough to fill a few pews.
I know that's right. Isn't that the truth? No, you know, he has his own system. You know, you got to find your time to get quiet. You know, when it comes to our household, it's always something going on. Just like last night, my daughter's been in this music battle. So they play her
that's
song
why
on
you
the
guys
radio.
were on I saw that.
Yeah.
And you guys were all, I wondered what that was.
Yeah. So she has, that was the 5th round. She has 4 more rounds to go.
Was she singing?
So how it works? Yeah, she sings. She made her own song. So they have 2 independent artists go battle against each other on the radio. They play a minute and a half of each song, and then the people vote after the songs are played.
Where is this at? We want to vote?
Yeah, she's in Valdosta. I'll put the link in the comments.
Put the link in. When's the next round?
Monday. It's Monday through Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
We backed that video up 3 times trying to figure out what it was.
Right.
I was sitting there and you were holding the phone
Right.
And then all of a sudden everybody went crazy. And I was
Yes.
like, what is it? Somebody win some money? What is
Right.
it?
So
Okay.
she'll be able to be featured on the radio for 30 days. She'll be in a magazine and listed in their Radio Hall of Fame if she goes forward to the ninth round. So she's in round 5.
Ooh, she might be your version of Michael.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
always been a singer, but just shy about using her gift.
Those
And
were the best ones.
so now she's really come out of her shell, and she just
Ooh.
released the EP. So we're really proud of her.
I'm gonna start calling you your husband Joe and Catherine. Now then you got to figure out the other 4 that
Well,
gonna
no,
back her up.
well, we got another son of ours. He's been releasing music as well. So, and then we have another daughter who has some music. She's a rapper. She hadn't reduced her stuff, put her stuff out yet. And then the rest of them are busy being cute as models. Okay.
Oh. Oh, is that an album on the wall back there? Oh, it is. Oh, that's right. I forgot I have a current release out. Just saying, in case you ever want to introduce.
Hey, y'all might want to collaborate.
And we're releasing the second. We're
You
going to
see what
start.
I'm saying?
Yeah, we're recording our second album as soon as we're freed from the cave called Pandemic. Yeah.
Now, how is it there? Because Georgia opened up some stuff. But what about in Chicago?
And our governor ain't playing it, and I support him.
Yeah.
I'll have a special coming up in a week with some frontline COVID nurses, trauma nurses, ER doctors, all people who are specializing and working specifically with COVID patients. And after you see that show, they can, I don't care, they can open up Disneyland and it could be free for everybody. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere until 30 days, 40 days, 45, 50 days when I see what happened to those who did. Because
yeah, that's how it is here. Our kids were still on lockdown, still doing the same thing. And they come in here sometimes, Mommy, my friends are going such and such. And for a minute they want to, and then I say, well, do you want to go? And they're like, no, I don't understand why they're doing that. So it's just allowing them the option to ask themselves, do you think that's smart? And the fact that they don't like being sheltered in place, but hey, you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do. And that's right. And I see it. And I'm trying to condition myself now to quit being judgmental. Although I don't feel it's being judgmental. I think it's like, I can't help but look and go, are you kidding me? Just yesterday, there's a house at the end of our cul-de-sac that there was like 5 adult men there in the driveway, throwing medicine balls between each other and stuff. And they were close doing stuff in the driveway. And then another house last weekend when it was really warm, they had like 19 motorcycles in the driveway and they were all in the garage, smoke coming all out. And you see them in there, you can hear the music and stuff. They had the top down and I'm driving, I could hear it in the car. And I'm like, but I try not to be judgmental because I know if I'm out, even under my mask or something, it happened in the grocery store yesterday. I coughed and about 30 women looked at me like, killing.
Right.
Like Rosemary's Baby people. Like they would get ready to come take me and cut that baby out. I was like,
so true.
Why y'all looking? Yeah. I'm looking, I hurried up. It's almost like you want to run out to your car and lay down on the floor to sneeze or something because you don't want people to think. So anyway, listen, it's Mother's Day. We're gonna get into how to safely celebrate mom. This unique Mother's Day 2020. Some interesting things that you can do and share with mom virtually. I've got some ideas on that. I'm going to get some from you. But first, it's time for a little Mother's Day trivia. Okay, I got my list here of questions. I was up early getting these. So, and this is
calling me before the time. Yeah, we will say that also.
Now you have 15 children, 13 you bore yourself. So all of these work. And so these questions are designed for, and just really think now, we really want to know the truth. Don't be trying to just make up any old thing. Okay. In total, how many hours of labor you believe?
I have no idea.
You see, you should know this stuff. If you ever when you end up on Hoda, she going to ask you.
That's Oprah a good question.
They're going to all want to know.
Look, I'm writing this down. Now that's some homework for me.
Yeah. I have how many hours of labor?
I will definitely over 100, probably. I'm sure.
How many hours in a week? You've probably been in labor a
Yeah,
whole week.
yeah. Because see, for me, this is an interesting thing also. So, 11 of my deliveries were natural, so no pain medicine or anything. And so, you know how you go to the doctor the last month, you go every week, and I would dilate early. So technically, if you've already dilated, you're still
Girl,
in labor,
ain't
right?
nobody heard
So
nothing you said. Ain't nobody heard a word you said after you said, my first 11 deliveries,
right,
everybody's ears went numb. Did she
God is good. That's a testimony, right?
11?
11 natural.
Ooh, can you imagine if you'd have been born during slave days? You'd have been valuable.
Yeah. And
They,
I had
ooh,
no stitches. My sixth one, I had to have one stitch. That was it. And then the last
okay, you
two
you you getting a little
over
bit
40.
personal now.
Yeah, the last two over 40, I had to have C-section with. Yeah.
What? And the next one?
I'm not having any more. We talked about this the last time.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, okay.
I'm a grandmother, right? Okay.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
so
have
yeah, you
three
got to stop.
grandchildren.
You got to
Yeah.
stop, or else, because
Mm-hmm.
if you was pregnant and had great, people that she sure is nasty. You know. So okay, so next question in our Mother's Day trivia is what, if you
Mm-hmm.
can remember, what has been
Mm-hmm.
your, out of all those pregnancies, all those, what was your
Mm-hmm.
weirdest craving?
Hmm.
Hi, David Dabreski from New
I
York.
don't know
Welcome.
what my weirdest one was, actually.
Okay, what name a couple of them? Some people,
I would
some
just
people
eat
eat baking soda,
no, I didn't have anything like
iced.
that. I would eat pizza. My first one, I had a lot of pizza. I would just, couldn't function with that. I had a lot of morning sickness that would last the whole trimester. So
Ew.
one, I had to have pink lemonade, and it had to be a certain kind. It was a Mystic pink lemonade. My husband would have to get that. That's the only thing that would settle my stomach. One time, Wendy's had to have a Wendy's burger. I mean, at least 2 or 3 times a week, I just couldn't function without it. So, it would be stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would have to have steak, or I
Oh
just couldn't let
Lord.
it go. Yeah.
Okay, so you didn't have
Hmm.
simple little old go in the kitchen cabinet and get out some baking soda,
No,
go in
that
the
was
freezer and get some ice for you to crunch on. You had road trip
no.
cravings.
Yes, that I mean, I just had to have them.
But what if
So
it was in the middle of the
Longhorn, that was
night?
one of my favorite. Hey, a craving is something that will not go away. So you may have it in the middle of the night, but it lasts. It's just something like, you try not to think about it or do something else, but you just can't function until you eat what it is that you're craving. So
Wow.
that would happen a lot. Yeah. And it just be like, hey, we got to I mean, Wendy's, they were my friend at one point.
Wow.
One pregnancy, I just couldn't do it. You try to get it out of your system, but it just, I don't know, something about it.
13
Yes, it's
pregnancies.
a weird experience. Yeah, I
Wow.
actually had
Yeah.
15. I had two miscarriages.
So 15 pregnancies. Good Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You probably got like uh like men have like hundreds of millions of sperm. You probably had at least 300,000 eggs. You had to. You could always be a
Well,
surrogate now.
my maternal grandmother, she had 12 children. So something in
Dang.
the gene. Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all have bought a
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, back in slavery days, you'd have brought a pretty price. Huh? Man, they don't even need any more slaves on the plantation. Just keep you and let you just
Mm-hmm.
keep. Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So and this is gonna pay off because man, you ain't got to worry about a thing when you get old.
Yeah.
All those
You
kids,
know, we, hey, we hope so. Okay. You know
y'all ain't
how
got
it
a
can
thing to
be.
worry about. And when Miss Thing get her Grammy under her belt, and we're moving on up, moving on
Mm-hmm.
up. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what was your earliest delivery? When I don't mean like 4 o'clock in the morning, I
Okay.
mean weeks early. You know how
That
you
would, yeah, that would be Alexandria. Now, the thing about it that's special about her is she was born after my first miscarriage. So I was on birth control pills after I had my miscarriage because
A lot
they
of good
said,
that
I
did.
should wait before I have another one. And I got pregnant with her on birth control. So I was really kind of nervous
Girl,
about it.
my honey.
And she was born with a lot of sevens, which, biblically means completion. So she was
Yes.
born 7 days early. Her labor was 7 hours. She was born on June 7th. And
Ooh.
let me see. She also was born with the veil on. So what that means is like, how normally your water breaks.
Yeah.
She was born in her sac. Yeah.
The
So
embryonic sac.
mm-hmm.
Wow. I've heard of that. My grandmother used to talk about that babies being special that were born with the veil on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh-huh. That was a big deal. If you just come in, welcome to Friday's edition, Mother's Day edition
Mm-hmm.
of Bathrobe Moments. And we have America's Supermom, Lachelle Atkins, mother of 15 children, 13 born through her universal womb. I'm just saying.
You need help.
I know it. I know it. Look, I tell people all the time, I had no choice. I waited 40 some years to find the right person because I was on a search. I knew I either needed to marry a therapist or a plastic surgeon because I was going to need both. And I got the therapist. So, as long as the inside is right, you can always do something to get that outside right. So I did pretty good. So next one. So that was your early. So she was 7 weeks early or 7 days
No,
early.
she was 7 days early.
That's not bad at all.
Mm-mm.
What's the latest one? Who was stubborn and didn't want to come out?
That would have been Olivia.
You knew right who it was.
Yeah,
too.
she was due December 31st, and she wasn't born until January 6th.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's 7 days.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You highly favored and anointed. Huh? Man, if you was born back in 14 BC or whenever it was, you might have beat Mary out. You might have beat Mary out for bringing.
Hey,
is that blasphemy?
this is all designed by God, so I take no credit for that. Okay?
I know that's right.
I'm just walking in the shoes He set for me. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, really quickly, before we get to our next question, let's see here. I wanted to just give people a visual. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
How many is in that picture? How many? Look how pretty.
That's the 13 that we had together. So
those girls are gorgeous.
Thank you.
Oh, Lachelle, you must have been fine back in the day, girl. Not that you ain't now, but I'm like, Lord, look, one of them, that one in the pink hair looked like Serena. And then that girl, the one that's great, all these you can tell. There's
the one with the let me see, on the other side of the graduate is the one that's Alexandria. She's in front of her brother. The one in front of her brother, she is the one who was born 7 days early. And then the other one with her shirt next to the pink in the middle, Olivia, she was born 7 days late.
So who's the singer?
Mackenzie, who's on the end with the fringed dress.
Here?
Next to Jeremiah. Yeah.
Oh, she looked like she can blow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And all the boys look like your husband.
Oh.
Your kids are so beautiful and handsome.
Thank you.
Not an ugly one in the bunch. That's another good thing. Look, girl, I need to let me get back to my my stuff. Girl, look, we got a family member. I ain't kidding. Lord forgive me. Y'all not quit judge because y'all done seen it happen. I ain't saying no names, but I remember when she rolled up with the thing, and we were all like, "Oh!" And then you know how they have it all draped over where you can't see, and she lifted it up, and everybody went. Everybody was like, "Yeah," and we went, "Ooh," like, look. And then he was down there going like this, like a god. Lord forgive me.
That's you. You see how he acts, y'all. But you know what? Laughter is good.
It is good.
It is good.
But he's still like that. But the thing is, now he's grown into it. He know how to use it. He know how to use it, right? Because I'm gonna be honest, it was his lips. See, it was his lips. And everybody's like, don't worry, he gonna grow into it. They said that about my ears when I was little, cauliflower ears. But he didn't really grow into the lips. But he grew into the acceptance and he gonna make a lot. I'm staying in good with the little joker because I already know he gonna be famous because he know how he run around entertaining people with him. Okay. Let me get on because they're gonna be
Bless
driving
him.
up doing a parade and we
Y'all
gonna whoop
see,
your ass.
this is what I'm talking about with Loren. Okay, you never know what you're gonna get.
Oh
Okay,
no, I've been like that all my life since I was a little kid, right?
but you like that uncle. Everybody has that uncle that just has no filter, would say anything. I have an aunt like that. I love her dearly. I mean, she just keeps me laughing.
Right.
So I think that's important. You know
I'll
what I
be
mean?
that
And
uncle.
a lot of people think what you say and they just don't say
Don't
anything,
say
but
it.
they're thinking it. You know what I mean?
Aw, thank you for that.
It takes a lot of courage. You know what I mean? Because that's the part of a lot of us deny being ourselves because we're afraid what other people are going to think or
Are
what they're
gonna
going to say.
think.
Yeah.
That's right.
So,
Good morning,
mm-hmm,
Lori Whitney. And
mm-hmm.
so happy. Oh, David Dobreski. Of course, you're more than welcome. I met David a couple weeks ago. I've been visiting Toastmasters meetings all over the country, and he's doing it.
Oh,
He's really doing it. I just happen to pop in on a couple, but he's
mhm.
actually moving all around the country, trying to visit so many in a certain amount of time. David Dobreski, he's an
Oh,
attorney in New York. Just met, but I love him. So we're here, everybody, with Lachelle Atkins, also known as America's Supermom, and she
mhm,
earned it. She earned that title fair and square, being the mother of 15 children. 13, she birthed herself.
mhm.
And so we're doing a little trivia right now. So next question. How many birthdays are in the same month? What's the month with the most birthdays in it?
January.
And how many?
We have 3.
That's not bad.
Mm-mm.
That
Yeah,
means you probably have one almost every month.
every month except August. So I say God had favor on us, but that's back to school. So hey, we get it
Because that portal,
13
whoever
times
was,
over. Yeah.
if you'd have been born in August, here your school clothes and your birthday present.
Right.
Now,
Right.
do you have kids in December?
Yes. I'm
Did
in
you ever try to
December
sneak?
and Mackenzie's in December. Yeah.
Okay, and what are the dates?
The 2nd and 13th. And
Oh,
then my
see,
mom's birthday is December 19th.
okay, now see, you could the second too early. You couldn't. No way you could pull off this your birthday present and
Oh
Christmas
yeah,
present.
that happened to me all the time.
Because
Birthday
when's
and
your birthday?
Christmas. Mine is 13th, and then my mom's is the 19th. Yeah.
Oh, she really got it.
Mm-hmm.
They held off and said, "Oh, this is everything." Oh no, my
Yeah.
birthday is the 4th of July.
Oh, I have a July 3rd baby.
You do? I have a
He was
brother.
due. He was due on the 4th, but he wanted to see them fireworks up close and
That was
personal.
me. Let me out of here. Right. Look, my mom said, because I think I was due on the 7th, and she said,
Mm-hmm.
she was 1 minute she felt a contraction. Ooh, she said, then she looked down and there was a hand reaching out.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Hey, how y'all doing? Right. Look, I think she said it wasn't even, it was less than an hour.
Yeah.
I wasn't playing.
Mm-hmm.
Get me out of
Mm-hmm.
here. Wait.
Yeah.
So, next question. Have these infamous words ever passed your lips? Sorry, honey, not tonight. I have a headache.
Yeah. Yeah. Keeping it real. Okay.
I bet. So
Mm-hmm.
what about this? Did people say, girl, you pregnant again?
Yes.
Tell
Mm-hmm.
everybody how that made you feel, because you embrace it. You wanted all these kids. You wanted a big
Right.
family. So what did you say when people said that? Because they say it like there's something wrong with it.
Exactly.
But it used to be what people had to do, because that's how they had their farms taken care
Right.
of. That's how you're right. So
Mm-hmm.
talk about that.
It really didn't bother me because a lot of times we would keep a new baby silent until we had really processed it. So we would go through it ourselves between me and my husband, even though, we never did anything to prevent having more kids. It was always a blessing and really a surprise every time I was pregnant. So we would just kind of take that time to enjoy it. Then we would tell the kids, and we just went through a period of really being strong about it ourselves before we would tell other people. And so they would say all kind of stuff, and we just didn't let it bother us.
I heard that because
Mm-hmm.
it's your life. And it's just, well, you know what it is? A lot of people think that it's just so difficult raising children or and expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all have to be blessed and highly favored. Because I know, I remember one time my mom, when my sister started talking out the side of their heads about we don't get nothing and you do da, 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 da. She went right in. It was like the next family meeting. We had those every Friday night. She went right in there and pulled out an invoice and said, when you turn 18, you owe me $644,000. That she had all these things for, and she didn't itemize. And they were looking at it like, she was like, it's really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It really, really
I
is.
think it's all, it depends on what your priorities are. You know what I mean? Of course, it's expensive when it comes to food and things like that.
Sure.
But, if you prepare meals from home as opposed to eating out, I mean, there's ways you can save. I think for us, one of the things that we have always instilled in our kids is that having a large family is a benefit, not a deficit, to look at.
I like
And
that.
so we like for them to be able to pursue their dreams. We have always given them an open door policy to, some of them wanted to do horseback riding, some of them like soccer. We allow them the ability to choose what it is that they want to pursue that they may like in spite of a big family. We also do things within the community as a big family because we feel like if people see us doing it with a large number of kids, they don't have an excuse. We can't hide behind, oh, I have kids, I'm too busy. I mean, a lot of people now just in this pandemic, just like you discussed earlier in the podcast we did about how your life has been a pandemic. That's how my life has been, really, being the rug pulled out from underneath me when it comes to kids and, just things at home, emergencies that come up without warning.
Yeah.
That's really what my life looked like. And then during the times of depression, it really was at an all-time high. So being able to navigate through those things, those are things that you really kind of figure out what are your priorities, what is important, and you recognize your own inner strength in order for you to move forward.
Nicely said. Now, I remember my birth mom. I learned a lot about a lot of the gifts that mothers have, those extra senses, spidey senses and stuff like that when I met her, because, she had been told that I had died as a baby when they wanted to keep me and they just couldn't bring themselves to return me to her as the deal had been. And I asked her when I met her, I was like, how did you know? And in the Gold Cast, it's that point where they show the African-American woman completely naked, like 9 months pregnant, laying flat.
Yeah.
She's got her outside leg up, and then you see her rub her stomach. That was a very moving time for me because of not having been around my birth mom, never having seen any pictures of her carrying me or her holding me as a newborn or anything like that. Wow. When I saw that, it was a reenactment, of course, but when I saw that and her words, I had heard it because I was there and I wrote it into the speech, but I asked her, how did you know I would come? And she goes, I said, how did you know I wasn't dead like they said? And she goes, because you and I were once one person. And she goes, if you wouldn't have been here any longer, I would have known. She goes, when I used to go to sleep, you'd go to sleep. If I was upset, you'd be upset. We were once one person. And when she said that thing that we were once one person, and then I saw how they hit it right when the woman rubbed her stomach, it made sense to me how you always see women, even when they're first pregnant, you can't tell they're pregnant or anything. They'll put their hand over that area like it's a sacred space. And that really resonated with me. So, I get it. And so that leads back to when I asked you, when people say you pregnant again, that, some people just don't get it.
Oh, yeah. And, you really have to, just like you said, it's sacred. Every child that we've had was a miracle. I look at, if I had listened to people, there are like probably 8 of my kids that are here today that would not be here if I was listening to other people.
Wow.
So it is just amazing because, if I stopped at 9, there wouldn't be the 15. You know what I'm saying? So it's just profound to me.
And a few years from now, we'll be saying, if you had stopped at 15, there wouldn't be these 26.
It
Because
ain't happening. We
I
got
still say you
26.
got at least 3 or 4 sets of twins in you. Come
Hey,
on
God
now.
is good. I'm passing that torch on over to my children. Okay. We
I,
waiting on them.
I
Yeah.
know that's right. I know that's right.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, you ready for another question?
Yeah.
What was and who was it with the highest birth weight? Highest birth weight.
Okay. That was 8 pounds, 3 ounces, and I actually had three of them. Who was that? So that's Taylor, Jeremiah, and I think it was Jordan.
So finally, some boys get in on the action
Yeah.
because all
Mm-hmm.
the other questions, the records were held by girls. So
Yeah.
that tells me them girls be running a show in that house.
Right. And then my one son was the smallest. He was 6 pounds, 14 ounces.
I'm
That's
going to ask you to
DJ.
refrain from volunteering information because you just stole another question and I ain't got a backup question. My show, okay? I'm just playing. I didn't actually have that because I knew you'd probably say that in the course of this one. So no, I didn't.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I do have. Okay, now we're going to talk about some stuff outside of the pregnancy and just in the typical raising, which there is no
Okay.
such thing. Typical. Every day is
Right.
different. Every kid
Yep.
is different. So what has always remained and still is to this day your favorite form of ass whooping? I'm just saying, is it extension cord? Is it a ruler? Is it a switch
Right.
off the tree? Go pick me a switch and get a good one because if it breaks, you
So
get two
true.
whoopings.
We don't do switches, but we need to because I know my grandmother whipped me with one switch,
Woo!
and that was all it took. I never got a whipping from her
Oh
again.
me, and I'd be
They
like
need to get
jumping and
back to
trying to,
that.
huh?
Okay. They need to get back to that. We
Tell me
use,
about it.
yeah, we use a paddle or my husband, he was Kappa. So they have them little
Ooh,
paddles. Yeah, we
yeah,
use
them
that.
ones with yeah.
So hey, this is recorded. No, I'm just
So, well, let's talk
but
about
I
that.
would have a wooden spoon. So that's something that I would always have easy, carry it with me in a diaper bag or something. So yeah, that would probably be my
And
favorite one.
you like you said, you're a first lady. Your husband's a pastor. Spare the
Mm-hmm.
rod, spoil the child. Thank you, Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So how do you feel about that in now in this day and age? Because all your kids, none have been to jail. None of them
Right.
are out there on drugs. You don't have any children that bringing kids home early and all this kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You really, we've talked about this before. How
Mm-hmm.
blessed you are, and your kids are such good kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because another thing, a couple things I wanted to say. I remember watching a show when I first found my birth mom, and we had it was a woman who was on Oprah. I got the book from my mom my first Christmas. That's the only thing I asked for was this book because I was standing in front of her and the TV was muted, and I was drawn to the woman even though I couldn't hear what she was saying. And her name was Mary Edie, and she had been clinically dead for 46 minutes, and she had a tour of heaven. She said she was
Wow.
talking, and she had a best-selling book about it. And she said she looked down to earth and she saw all these beams of light shooting up, and she asked them, "What are those beams of light?" They said, "Those are the prayers from earth." And she goes, "But why are some of them are so much brighter than the others?" And she goes, She said they told her that the brightest beams were the prayers of mothers.
Wow.
And I looked at my mom and she looked at me, and we just had an unspoken agreement that it was that beam that brought us together. It was that beam that kept me scratching no matter what, all those years to find my way to her door.
That is so awesome.
And kept her mind open that I would come. So
Wow.
it was a very touching time. And then another thing that my mom said to me, that I'll never forget, my birth mom, she said, I asked her we were talking about sleep or something. And she goes, well, mothers, she goes, the day or night that you deliver your first child, that last sleep you had was the last full restful night sleep you'll ever have. Because she goes, mothers never completely sleep like they did before their child got here.
I don't know what's going on. All right, guys. I'm not sure what is going on with Lauren's connection, but I just want to say I'm so glad to be here and share about Mother's Day. I want to give a special shout out to all the moms on this holiday coming up. What happened?
Our internet went out here. I didn't know you still, because even on my phone it went out. And and I see. Oh, good
You gotta
one.
be ready, guys.
You can, yes. She just kept the show going. Thank you. She like, well, while he's gone, y'all need to get over to Anchor. My show is no, okay, good. Thank you for that. I'm glad you did. I was like,
I was about to have a little speech. Okay, I didn't know how long
you can
I
finish.
was going to talk.
You earned it. No, but we were saying, I remember exactly where we were. We were saying that about you only, how my mom said you never really sleep that rested that deeply again when you have children. So is it like that? Do you lay there and?
Before I was depressed, I mean, the life with depression was that way. After depression is not. I mean, because the Lord has really taken a lot of that burden off of me when it comes to, I try to be the God in everybody's life, feeling like I had to do this or do that to help this child and do whatever. But now I have realized that, these are God's children, that He is just giving me the opportunity to help train up in the way that He wants them to be and recognizing their flaws or gifts and everything is one complete person. And I pray and leave a lot to Him. So now I don't have to worry about, that being up at night, because I have a couple of them now that we're sheltered in place, but they're other places, with their own apartments. And it was hard to let go. But, I just have to know that those are God's kids. So, that little bit that I think I'm doing, please, He has all the resources. So, yeah, that's, but that is such a true mindset that a lot of moms have.
Man, that's the first time I seen First Lady come out. First Lady came out, y'all, did she? You think I had to put, can I get an amen? Let me grab my church fan.
I'm telling you, or something else.
And if I could, look, I'm about to get struck. If I could speak in tongues, I'd have to say Hasa Baba Ka. But I better quit playing, right?
He said that the last time. I was like, what is that?
I know that's my form of speaking in tongues, because I'd be praying for it. I'd be like, one day I want to speak in tongues. Should have had Honda. Lord, you know my heart.
I'm telling you,
He knows my heart.
He made you.
Yeah,
so He knows you.
Now, what is that?
These are some little characters. I'm gonna be in a comic book, so I wanted to show them there.
You're going to be in a comic book.
Yeah, in a comic book.
Whose comic book?
Well, these are called Quirk Box, right? And so this is the educational element that people are going to be using to try to teach with kids. That's just one of the mascot faces of this new educational system. So I'm excited to be a part of it. So it's a comic book and a cartoon.
A comic book and a cartoon.
So this is supposed to be America's Supermom, and my magic, my superpower is a microphone. So being able to have people share their truth. And then this is my little sidekick. And he, if you can see, he has little arms. His thing is that he hugs the bullies because it's a bully thing. So he hugs the bullies to recognize that they can be caring about other people.
See, I knew already. I was prepared for you this morning. And so I'm just going to say. 15 kids earns you all of those rights. Oh, you guys,
true.
Too much
Look,
fun.
I don't miss an opportunity. Okay,
right?
Yeah, I'm not the one. Look, I tell everybody, I don't turn down anything but my collar. Okay.
Right, right. I can see right now. Come on out here, little Marissa, and tap dance for the folks. Come on. And this is little Jordan.
It,
Dribble the basketball, baby. Might be a scholarship in it for you.
it
You
is
know,
so
right.
true. It's
Oh,
so
let
funny
me
because
ask about that. That's a
I
good
tell
one right
my
there.
kids, I'll say something and I'll say, yeah, I got plenty of help over here. And they're like, Mom, you just volunteer us and our stuff. I said, hey, you need to get out there. If you're not gonna do it, I will. Right.
What about college funds?
Yeah, a lot of them are just navigating through. They don't really want to go to college. So we have one who's in college right now, actually two of them. But the two that are right above them in between, they didn't want to go to college.
I know how
They
you pulled
started
that
off
off. I know how you
well,
pulled that off. It went
hmm,
like this. Okay, gather around. Come on, babies. It's story time. We're going to talk about Carol. Carol was on her way to University of Michigan when a train hit her.
stuff.
And right. So as you see, college is not for everyone. Let's talk about John, who went into the military. All his friends lifted him up and cheered. He was very popular. I'm just kidding. So
Yeah.
so were you ever worried about what if all 15 want to go to college? What are we going to
Mm-mm.
do?
No, not at all. And we've always instilled in them to work hard for what they want. Before it would have been, like I said, we talking during depression, post depression. Prior to that, I mean, during that depression, I felt a lot of the anxiety about, how are we going to do this? I mean, even though I was a person of faith, don't get me wrong,
Right.
but, I was kind of focused on the outcomes a lot of times more than giving God the room to work in faith. Because somebody told me once that sometimes you're trying to exercise faith when you just need to use common sense, right?
Mm.
And so,
But you know what? My grandmama always said there was no such thing as common sense because if it was so common, how come more people won't use it?
right, this is true. This is true.
Granny.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But I
So
get what
yeah,
you're saying. I get what you're
yeah.
saying. I cannot believe this hour is almost over. I mean, we have
That
like
was
4
you
minutes.
with all that talking.
I know it. I got one more question though. I got some more talking. What's the longest grounding that you and your husband have ever placed on somebody, and who holds that record?
I would say that it has been, was it a month that we had for her?
Ooh,
Yeah.
her.
Now I would say, and then one of them that was really unique was we took the door off of there. So they didn't have any privacy anymore. They shared a room and yeah, we took the whole door off the hinges. Yeah.
Not the door.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one there.
And I want to
Right
say they
now, a
were
whole
in
bunch of
high
parents.
school.
Huh?
Yeah, they were in high school during that.
Oh.
So you got to kind of switch it up sometimes. You know what I mean?
So they don't
Yeah.
get I don't care. All she gonna do is say I can't da.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do it anyway. It's worth it. Right.
Right.
Because I don't like so and so anyway.
So true.
Yeah. That was
So
it.
when you switch it up, they're like, wait a minute here.
And we can use this word, even though you're a first lady, because it's in the Bible. Y'all had something for that ass. So there it is. So, oh my goodness. Well, listen, we could go on and on and on. And that means that you'll have to come back again someday and share some more of your wonderful tips and insights on what it feels like to be America's Supermom. It's not just a name that we can just carelessly toss around. As you see here with Michelle Atkins, it was earned. So no matter if you have 1 kid, 5 kids, 3 kids, no kids, 15 kids. Happy Mother's Day to all of the females in the world, because you know what? I'm sure if you're not a mother, you play one on Facebook to somebody. So, Lachelle, thank you so much for joining us today. Happy Mother's Day. I can't wait to see what you post on Mother's Day. A lot of things going to be happening there. And anything you want to say in closing? Your Jerry Springer final thought for the folks?
Absolutely. I want to tell everybody to smile and choose happy. This is something that I have been sharing as a mental wellness movement. Okay. So the SMILE is an acronym. So S is sleep, your mood, inner voice, laughter, and energy. So if you kind of really take stock of what each of those areas look like in your life, you can determine if you're on a downward spiral. In my case with depression, I never really knew the signs. each of my hospitalizations, my husband
Mhm.
had to get intervention. So this is a way for you to check in with yourself. If you recognize